Domestic violence is a huge issue in the Yukon, and quite often there's more to it. There's kids involved, there's money involved, there's housing. Some people can't leave that situation, whether they're scared, there's addictions issues. There's a lot more going on than just you can't go back to the house. They may have been threatened, they may have been assaulted 52 times, and the 53rd time was the time when they couldn't handle it anymore. And so domestic violence is not as clear-cut as some investigations are. There's a lot more that goes on than there would be a plain assault where there's no relationship there. So we want to find out as much as we can. They can be quite lengthy, the investigation themselves, and as well from the time it starts to the time it's done and through the courts can take quite a bit of time. In regards to keeping a victim safe during an investigation, quite often we'll put conditions on someone, so there'll be no contact, direct or indirect, with the accused. You wouldn't be able to speak to that person directly. You wouldn't be able to indirectly contact that person via text, Facebook, through messages of friends, that kind of thing. We'll also safety plan with the victims, so we'll have their input on how to best keep themselves safe. Everyone's safety plan is different. Everyone has different resources, internal and external, that can help them. In the Yukon, there's a really unique court. It's the DVTO court. It's therapeutic based. There's some onus put on the accused to take responsibility for what they've done, and that's where the domestic violence investigations go to charge. That's where they go.
DVTO stands for Domestic Violence Treatment Option Court. It's a specialized court dealing with all offenses of domestic violence. The main difference between DVTO and the regular court system is that DVTO requires first offenders to take responsibility for their actions. If an individual is pleading not guilty, it will go into the regular court system, but if they're prepared to take responsibility and plead guilty, they can go through the Domestic Violence Treatment Option Court, and they do their treatment and programming up front before they get sentenced. And the focus of the court is to do the programming to address their behaviors. If they know that there's this option where the offending person will be getting treatment, it's far more likely that they will disclose to the police. It also protects the victim and hopefully will provide treatment and programming that will stop the offending behavior, which at the end of the day is usually what the victims want, not that the offender goes to jail or that their family is split up necessarily.
At Victim Services, we're a confidential voluntary service. So whether or not a crime has been reported to the RCMP, we can provide you with information about the criminal justice system, offer crisis counseling, and kind of walk you through court proceedings.
So at Kiyoshi's Place, we offer a safe shelter that is accessible 24 hours a day. It is free to stay. What is offered there is advocacy, support, transportation. Sometimes first contact is on our crisis line. You can call it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and somebody will answer and talk to you about your situation. Sometimes women will come in after that call. Sometimes it's just strategizing about your safety. If a victim has an appointment that they have to go to, and they don't have to be staying in a shelter or second stage, they can call us and say, I have a meeting with Family and Children's Services, or maybe their lawyer or an RCMP that they might be really concerned or nervous about attending by themselves. They can come in and we can strategize about how to manage the meeting, or we can be there just to take notes and support you through it. And victims find that quite helpful.